Hi, tburrier from tburrier.com. How do you define success? This is a really interesting thing. I think that a lot of people struggle with this because they are climbing ladders that are leaning against buildings that are really not of their choosing because they haven't really considered what represents success. And so it's so easy to get caught up. So I'm going to give you a couple things to consider that could be really helpful for you today because it has a lot to do with how you feel in your day-to-day life. I recently met with a man who has had a tremendously successful life. Successful in business, has a successful marriage, is in great shape, retired early, is very active in making a difference in the community and doing just someone who's really, it's like the almost a poster child of what you would consider, wow, that person has it together. And in our conversation, he said, I probably, if I'd have done a few things different, I could have been more successful. And I stopped him and I said, what do you mean by that? What exactly do you mean by be more successful? And he said, well, I could have reached a higher position, and because he sits on boards and, some of the people on boards are, highly titled, right? Highly titled based on what they do for a living. And I said, so are you equating success with a title or a specific position? And he goes, well, maybe. And I said, let me ask you this. Would you have rather had the title than all the other cool things that you've accomplished? Well, no, right? So then you start getting down into the nitty gritty. And the reality is, right, is that we can't do and be everything in life, right? What we can do is what matters to us. And that's really important because your definition of success is going to be unique to you. It's not something that is established by society or your neighbor or the media or whatever systems that you're exposed to, right? And that's where we get I'm not in that group anymore. I was when I was younger, right? When I didn't know better, I was all caught up too in trying to be successful based on the messaging of what that is, when in fact, it's really about living your best life possible, right? It's really about living based on your values. It's really about making the contribution that you can make. You have to define success, but be very clear about this. Success is not in a big picture. Success is not in one category, right? True, how you define business success can be categorized, but how you define success for a life, that is entirely different. And don't get those confused, right? I teach and mentor and coach and work with companies and people who are trying to accomplish more, and I help them do that. But that doesn't make them a successful person. It makes them successful in the thing, right? In my case, though, the people I mentor and coach, I mentor the whole perspective. I don't want you just to be successful in one thing. I want you to be successful in your life, and that one thing that you're really trying to accomplish is just part of the greater thing. But you have to have the courage to live your life, not the life your neighbor thinks you should have, not the life that, your family, your extended family thinks that you should have, not the life that is promoted as the way you should live based on the media or what's being advertised and what's being sold. You got to live based on what your heart and your principles and your value dictate are the life for you. And then you got to try to be the best you possibly can in all categories while making the greatest contribution possible. That's how you assemble a successful life. That's what I teach and mentor and coach with my individual clients, and in all of my businesses are centered on how to help you have the most success possible in life, not in one category. Yeah, that's a natural outcropping, right? Because the things that help you be successful in your whole life will help you be successful in anything that you try to be successful in. So I hope that was helpful. If you need a little message, if you need a little more help, if you need some coaching or you need some training, visit my website, tburrier.com. Maybe there's something there for you. And if you have a question, feel free to reach out. My email is below. Have a great day.